welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel K. You might know me from my Instagram at Mrs. Rachel Kraus, and today I am doing a video showing you how I cut my husband's hair at home. So I am a hairdresser, and as you all know, we're in quarantine right now, and I see a lot of you trying to cut your kids or your significant other's hair on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And some of them you guys are doing awesome. I totally commend you guys for trying. It's not as easy as it looks, but I thought that I would just give you a little tutorial showing you how I do my husband's hair. This can easily be translated for a little bit of longer hair, but this is a shorter fade haircut. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, we're just working with whatever we have here. So you need some kind of stool for them to sit on. And then I've just got my clippers here. I've got my guards that came with the clippers. If you get a pair of clippers, they should come with the guards, a mirror, and a comb. So I'm gonna start and cut his hair at a 2.5 all around because I want the longest part on the top to be a 2.5. So I've got everything at a 2.5 all the way around. If you have a cape, go ahead and put it on before you start this. And now I'm going to switch it to a 2 and start in on my fading process. So on him, I like to start his fades right about here. So I'm going in with my 2. And you have to make sure that the blade goes all the way up to that spot, not just the tips of this, because that's not cutting anything. It's the blade. So you have to make sure the blade goes all the way up to that. And then I kind of scoop out. Let me show you. So I go up to the temple and kind of scoop out like that. Just want to make sure I'm getting all the hair in there. And I'm drawing basically a horseshoe around his head. I kind of draw my horseshoe a little bit above that bump. It may not look like I'm doing much, but you can kind of hear that zip, zip, zip. That is the clippers biting, which means there is hair to cut. So if you keep hearing that zip, you are not done cutting. What I like to do in between each level is grab my comb. This is the one I like. You can find it at like a Sally's or anything. It's a barbering comb. I'll just put this, slide it into his hair like that. His line is kind of coming down right there. Put it there, and then I'm gonna kind of blend it. So I'm taking the comb in and I'm putting it flat against his head. And then I'm just cutting everything that came through to the comb. Keep it flat against the head. You don't want to go in at the round of the head and cut like that. You're gonna cut into the haircut. Flat against the side of the head. Don't go with the round. Flat. So we've done a 2.5 all over. Our next level down was a 2. Then I blended the 2 of those, the 2.5 to the 2, I blended that. And now we are moving on to a 1.5. And we're just gonna come in, so here's my like line kinda. We're gonna go in with a 1.5 now, just right below it. So I went a little bit above the bump in his head with the 2. Now I'm coming in like right at the bump with the 1.5. Now what I mean by horseshoe, and I should have explained this earlier, but hopefully it makes sense. So you're starting here and you're coming down like a horseshoe around their head back to the same spot. It's just a U shape around their head. Now that I have the 1.5 length in there, I'm gonna go in with my comb. Right where you see that line. So as you can see, this haircut is super easy. Where I spend most of my time is blending. So in the front, I'm kind of brushing his hair down. This is just the way his particular hair grows, but a lot of men's hair grows like that. Brushing it down, keeping it with the straight of the head, going up. I'm gonna trim that up later, so I'm not too worried about it. Now always remember too, like everybody has their individual hair growth pattern. So like as you can see in here, it's a little bit thinner. That wasn't from the clippers, that was just there before. So just remember that. So now that we've done a 1.5, we're gonna go in with a 1. I think this might be my last fade in. We'll see. I might do a half at the bottom nape of the neck here. Just barely going up on this last one. You can always use just the edge of the clippers so they're not cutting up here. They're not touching the head, but they're cutting down here. If you guys have any specific questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to answer anything that I can for you. So let me show you what I'm doing back here. I'm just coming down right at the bottom of his neck. Might even go up just a little higher. I've got the 1 in there, so I'm taking off my guard, and I'm just gonna blend between the 1.5 and the 1. So I'm gonna go in on just the base of the nape of the neck down here, right where the hairline is, with a half. So my blades are down. I just personally like this look. If you're having a hard time getting a closer cut, have them look down, stretch their skin out with your thumb, and that can make it a lot easier. Now I'm just gonna go in and blend that out. Let me show you where the haircut's at right now. Looking pretty good, pretty faded. And now what we're going to do is I'm gonna take the trimmers, and they think we're done. I'm gonna take the trimmers and trim them up. And this is really what seals the deal, so do not skip this part. So on his neckline, I like for him to have a square neckline, but you can choose round if you like as well. So he's gonna look down for me, and you can see like right as his neckline here, I'm gonna make my first mark, or neckline, I mean hairline. So try not to go too far into the hairline, and then we're just gonna make sure you're cutting the hairs on their neck too. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just squaring it up. It doesn't have to be exact, but just try and make it look as nice as possible. Now on the sides, I like to come in at an angle. You see how his hairline already kind of does that? I just like to shape it up like that. Now I'm just matching up both sides, and I'm trimming around the ears. Now I'm coming into the front of his head, and you can see this little place right here that kind of got a little bit, it's just a little bit thicker. So I like to come in with my trimmers just a little bit in the comb. We're combing it forward, that way it's not gonna get too short on us. He's got a pretty good hairline, so I just like to kind of just barely touch it, barely, like just so it looks clean. I'm not really cutting any length off. Hopefully that makes sense. If whoever's hair you're cutting doesn't like the hair, like you can see around here, he's gonna take a shower after, so I'm not too worried about it. But if they don't like that, you can get a makeup brush or a wet towel and just kind of wash it off of them. And now I'm gonna trim up his beard as well. He likes his like right kind of level with his hair, tip of his ear right here. So I'll just go in. There you go. And I'll do the same on the other side, and you just try to make them look as similar as possible. And that's why it's easy to use a landmark on the ear. But remember that not everybody's ears are even. So just do your best. So that was his haircut, easy peasy. He's ready for his Zoom calls now. I'll show you a little clip of it at the end too. But if you guys like these kinds of videos, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit that little bell thing. It'll notify you anytime that I post, and I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on my channel. Leave any comments that you have down below, questions, comments, it doesn't matter. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.